Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along to what is very much the last little bit of action here in the World Sports Series, the 2015 season here at GPVWC, before we head off on our midsummer's break. We're here at round 8. My name is James Kirk. On cameras is Mr. Mike Phillips, and alongside me once again on co-coms is Mr. Stefan McCready. Now, we're at the Hungaroring today, Stefan, a 4.3 kilometer circuit of pain, twists and turns. It's one of the few circuits on the calendar this year which doesn't really need a good top speed. What you need is downforce, and it should mean that the guys at the top of the table with the weight penalty shouldn't be suffering as much if they can swing their weight around the corners successfully.
Yes, hello, man. It's a very high downforce dependence circuit. So yeah, as you said, weight hopefully shouldn't play too much of a factor. If they can get it into the corner properly, then they won't find it as pain as they do in other races. But yeah, looking forward to it.
Now, there were a couple of post-race penalties given to a number of drivers following the last round out in the Red Bull Ring. Most importantly to consider is that Agustin Canapino, one of the 4 championship protagonists at this stage now, was involved in those penalties. We shall go through them after qualifying is done and dusted. But I'm just having a little look at who's coming around. Perhaps you can go on board with David Francic here in P9, Mike. Currently driving for triple 20s. He's had a wonderful run so far, David. But we're going to give you an idea of this Hungaroring circuit. First of all, we've got a heavy braking zone down into turn 1 here. Get on the power as early as possible, heading out. This isn't a turn, surprisingly. It's just an elongated, bendy straight, one of those unambiguous ones. As we head now into the downhill turn 2. I love this little section here where you've got to learn where to get on the power as early as possible, then go straight on through here, through into turn 3, as we run down to one of the most difficult corners, I would say, in these cars especially, on the World Sports Series calendar this year, is turn 4, an uphill left-hander. Really got to run it wide there, and Francis takes it very well, considering actually up now into turn 5. It's a ever-increasing slope here as we head into and indeed through Sector 2, now up to the chicane of turns 6 and 7. Very high curbs there, which are not too bad in the World Sports Series cars. Watch out next week, though, in the career ladder. They are nasty through turn 8 and turn 9. Now, this is where most cars will lose their time. So many ways that you can get this section wrong, but through turn 10 and turn 11, we now go with Francis. Tyrone Frith ahead, though, and looking very slow as well, so he may be holding up Francis here, unfortunately, as we head down into turn 11. Now, heavy braking zone, and David Francis going for a move, into turn 11, going to muscle his way past to try and get more space on track. A good move there from David, as we head up into turn 13 now, We were going through turn 12 before, and now into the final corner of turn 14, another elongated corner here. Got to get on the power as early as you think possible. Very much a theme around this Hungaroring circuit, and we'll see how far Mr. Frančić can go. He takes a 1:45.7, P6 for the Croatian, but losing a little bit of time behind Frith, I am sure, your current provisional pole sitter. Our championship leader, Risto Kappa, with the full 45 kilograms of weight ballast on a 1:44.7. We have seen much faster than that, though.
That was, to be fair, that's quite a good time considering had traffic, so to get 6, he's done alright there. But yep, Risto Kappa, he's got a nice 6 tenth gap between him and Strand, so we should expect that to change quite soon. But I think what will be interesting to see is we'll get the full idea on how weight actually affects these cars in these kind of conditions. It's, like we said, high downforce, so it'll be really interesting to see. Who's got weight again?
So it's Capit on 45, Diggy on 36, Lepassa on 27, Canapino, who isn't here yet today, that is quite big actually, on 18, and Strana on 9.
Right, so 2 of the guys with quite a lot of weight are in the first 2 positions at the moment, so weight not proving as much of a pain as we thought. But yeah, this is, as you said during Frančić's lap, early on the power is very important to the circuit, because the earlier you get on, the less chance you are of being overtaken. Especially into turns 1 to 2. I think that may be a surprising overtaking spot, because if you get a good exit from turn 1, you put yourself in a very good position to try a move into turn 2. So it'll be interesting to see.
Indeed, and another thing which I'm sure the disciplinary committee will be watching out for is potentially running wide as well. There are anti-cuts on the majority of these corners, but on others, not so much. So, got to be eagle-eyed. Anyway, we had some movers and shakers up front. Eric Strana with those 9 kilograms of weight ballast, the lightest of the championship leaders, has gone up into P3 there. Kevin Siggy, though, with 36 kilograms, up into P2 in only hundredths off Risto Cabez. Marcus Riffles there seemed to have crashed into the wall, unfortunately, on the inside of turn 2. But I find it incredible that the top 2 in the championship are now currently 1 and 2 in this qualification session. We've still got the better part of 8 minutes still to go. Sorry, better part of 9 minutes, I should say, still to go. So a lot of time left. The fastest time we've seen in an official pre-practice, or indeed unofficial pre-practice, was a 44.2, so still 5 tenths to find. But, of course, one variable which people don't necessarily have in free practice is the amount of traffic that they have. And I've noticed quite a few people, Francis included, Sig included, who have been caught up behind a lot of people as the pass has now improved to a 144.9, back up into P3. And Pedro Oliveira, who had quite a nice debut actually in the World Sports Series last time out, took a podium on debut, but unfortunately after a decent comeback in race 2 was deemed to have had a little bit of unavoidable contact himself, though didn't score any points in race 2. Still, P4 for the Brazilian is looking very handy indeed. Looking down the field, Ruud Heesterbeek, one of our championship contenders from last year, has not taken part in this series, but he's replacing Cameron Brewster, who has faulty brake pedals, so we welcome back the Dutchman. He's currently there in P8. We also welcome back Philip Pushka, currently P12, this time driving with Enterprise GP as opposed to Vodbull Racing. We also welcome back Ilya Bracalo for Triple 20, they're P21. And we've got a couple of other people I noticed. Quinton Plains here for Epic Racing, P26, replacing Tom Parker. Menno Klonsin for Tayfor, Jack Mayers in for Lusitania. So there are a number of drivers here, actually, who have come back to the series. A couple of drivers who are just coming in for their first round, maybe a one-off. The good news, though, Stefan, we have a little bit more drivers than we've had in recent rounds, up to 27 again, which is good to see, as I noticed Aristo Cap has gone even faster, but only by a tenth. His provisional pole time is now extended to 1/10 over Siggy.
Yeah, so we've got a nice chunky grid compared to, I think, Austria. So, yeah, it's going to be hopefully give us some more action. It's quite a difficult track to overtake, so hopefully the numbers kind of bump up the odds for some good overtaking maneuvers. Yeah, so quite a few changes as well, which is interesting to see. Seeing his feet come back into the walk racing WSS car is quite an exciting prospect. And you're right about Pedro. He's showing his worth, really. He's been quite a good signing for Cosmo so far, so it'd be interesting to see if he can maybe repeat his race 1 podium. So I just want to keep an eye out for.
Very much a wild card in this late stage. He's not really going to be challenging for any sort of penalty weight until the end of the season, so yeah, perhaps a very savvy signing for Cosmo, and who are only manned by 1 car again, and it is noted that attendance not exactly the best, and teams who aren't fielding 2 drivers, that under a little bit of pressure. It must be said, Eric Strana has improved to 144.7, hundredths behind Siggy there, so P3 for the Ice Cold man. And Ice Colds have had a couple of really poor rounds, actually, Stefan, from challenging to the title to a complete non-score last time in Austria. They really need to get back up on their feet, otherwise Enterprise is going to be potentially overtaking them by the end of the year. Yeah,
Enterprise has had a bit of a mixed... Kevin C's been quite consistent, but yeah, it's been quite a mixed year for Enterprise. Ultimately, they haven't really had as much, to some extent, maybe luck has played a part, but a lot of, some mistakes have happened that really haven't played into Enterprise's hands. So they'll want to try and come back at this, and they really need to if they want to avoid being overtaken in the constructors.
Indeed. So, pretty much coming up to 5 minutes left to go. Your top 10 currently is Capit from Siggy, Strana Oliveira, Lepasa, Olsen, Riffle, Francic, Lopez, and Heesterbeek with a susceptibly slow time, actually, not exactly showing the cutting-edge pace that he showed at times in 2014. Let's see who's a little bit out of position. As Agustin Canapino enters the game. So Canapino, leaving it a bit late. He will have 5 minutes to get a lap in, but he's got 18 kilograms of weight ballast, which I'm sure the administrator or the race director, Chris, will... Yep, he's straight out on the track, isn't he? Needs to get a lap in because it's pretty crucial. He's already lost points thanks to his contact last time out in Austria. He needs to try and get some of them back, surely.
Lost Cabrera as well, but yeah, Canapino's giving us quite close. No wonder he's straight. He's got 4 minutes. He's probably got probably 2 decent flying laps. He is leaving it close.
Mind you, it's a good track for Canapino. He took 1 race win last year, and it was race 1 at this very track where he took it. So he knows where to find the time, the Argentine. We'll see where he ends up by the end of the session. 4 minutes left to go, and Ruud Heasterbeek has just shut me up, hasn't he? He's gone into P5 for walk racing now, 1:44.893. He's within striking distance of even his teammate in provisional pole. I wonder whether the Dutchman can find any more time with the 4 minutes left of this session. That's... Oh, no, so he doesn't bump anyone out the top 10 necessarily, as Heasterbeek was rounding up the top 10. I'm just looking at who's out on track. So Capit, Siggy, Strana, they're all out on track. Oliveira, Heasterbeek, of course, still Lapasa, Olsen, Riffle, Francis, Lopez. Lopez actually not out on track. I wonder whether he's saving it for one last hot lap. The slowest time currently a 1:50.8 by Tyron Frith for the lone TTF racing car. Actually quite a big split here, Stefan, from a 1:44.6 to a 1:50.8. You really do need to hook yourself up for this Hungaroring circuit. And I would not like to be going around this circuit in tin tops, I'll say that much.
No, it is a tough circuit. It's very dependent on downforce, and these cars really don't have that much of it. There is a very large split though, and that's a 6.1 seconds difference between it. Very much a short track you need to hit. If you mess up one corner, then you pretty much stuffed up your lap, to be honest. Because with Hungaroring, you kind of need some form of rhythm. It's just constant left, right, and once you find that rhythm, it'll be easy to get that time. But if you don't actually find that rhythm, you're going to really struggle around here, and that's really not what you want to fly in, I think.
Let's see, Risto Capis just crossing the line now. Does he improve? I don't think he does. No, he doesn't. He's got 2 more potential laps to improve his pole time. Risto Capis. Behind him, Kevin Siggy now comes into the picture. Let's see whether the Austrian can improve. No, he doesn't. I do wonder. No, that was a 1:44.806, so he'll also have 2 laps potentially. Strana also starting a lap. Oliveira on a lap currently. Oh, look at that. Rookie Hoekstra. That's a great time for the Dutchman. Up to P7 for the racing team Schroten driver. So a very good effort there from Woodkey to get himself up into the top 10. Riffle not improving from P10. Neither is Franchi. So Lopez knocked out of the top 10 because of that. Just having a little look at Lapasa now coming around the final corner there in P6. We'll see whether the Estonian, P3 in the championship, can he improve? No, he can't either. And he's been on quite a long run, Lapasa, as well. So 1.5 minutes left to go. Anyone who's crossing the line now is on their final lap. There are a couple, like Capit and Siggy, who have 2 more laps available if they can utilise them. But it very much looks like, especially considering there's a 3/10 gap between 6th and 7th, that the top, the pole position shootout is between the championship leaders, the man who's come in who was a championship leader, and the wildcard Pedro Oliveira, who's actually spun, there, in the final complex there in Sector 3. So he's actually going to get around and be able to do another lap, Pedro. We'll see what he can do there. But people starting to make mistakes as well as Heasterbeek goes on. I think he's actually done there in P5. So Heasterbeek calls it a day. Lapasa on his last lap. Pedro Oliveira going to be starting his last lap. Risto Capit coming around the final corner now. He's going to be starting his last lap as well. Has he improved from a 44.6 here in P1? No, he hasn't. Strana's next across the line with 9 kilograms. He doesn't improve either. Kevin Siggy, all in very close proximity, these guys. And Siggy does improve. A 1:44.598 for Siggy. 22 seconds left. He will get one more lap in, but I fear with Tomu Cabrera ahead, he won't be able to improve from that. So, Heasterbeek in. Lapasa, I think, will be the first man, really, with a chance of further usurping this pole. There's a further movement down the bottom. Let's see. Francis into 7th. There's... Oh, who was that there? Who was that? Was that Marcus Riffle? Yes, it was. Riffle into 3rd. Great effort from the Drake driver to get himself up into the top 3. His teammate, Lapasa, now coming around the final corner onto the start-finish straight. No improvement from Lapasa, so out-qualified by his newish teammate, Marcus Riffle, once again. So who does that leave then? So, Capit's still on a lap. Strahn's still on the lap. Oliveira still on a lap. I think it's probably best if we go on board with Oliveira. He was the first of these guys to cross the start-finish straight. And he's just about heading into Sector 3 now. Into Turn 12 we go. It's looked like a decent lap for the Brazilian. Oh, locking up a little bit there.
Very fun, wasn't it? So, yeah, he's avoided that now.
Yep, he's gone through there. Capit behind him as well. So we'll see whether the Estonian can pick up his second pole of the year. It would be Kevin Siggy's second pole of the year as well, I think. Yes, it would. This would be actually a second pole position in a row for Kevin if he's able to hold on to it. Oliveira around the final corner. Where does the Brazilian end up? He improves, but by 7 thousandths, not enough. Here comes Capit now. And he improves as well, but not by enough. I think the only man who could stop him was Strana. Not going to be the case. So, Kevin Siggy then, for the second time in 2 weeks, takes pole position in the World Sports Series. He becomes the first man this year to take 2 consecutive pole positions in a row.
Oh, he's cutting that close. That was a stunning lap, and he brought it at just the right time. Fair play to Marcus Ruffalo as well. He got himself in there very well with a very good time. But that was a very, very well done lap. And right, second, got a consecutive pole and first man to do so. So well done to him.
Let's just go through the rest of the order here. So Capit then, his main championship rival, P2. So that's 36 and 45 kilograms of weight bars for those two, and they're P1 and P2. Absolutely insane. Marcus Riffel then is P3, with Eric Strana P4, Pedro Oliveira P5. He's to be on his return P6. Lapasa, I think, will be a little bit disappointed in P7, to be honest. David Francic P8, and then the top 10 is rounded out by the two Mazuriks, Sven de Vries and Tobias Olsen. And I remember Olsen blew up his engine here last time on the final lap. I'm sure he won't be wanting repeated that. The two bobbles. Look at Canapino there. P12 for the Argentine. He's going to be struggling. Only just out-qualified his teammate Lopez. Yunt there in 15th. Hoekstra ended up 11th after that. Bart de Vos with a good qualifying P14 there for YDF1. But apart from Canapino, I can't really see anyone too much out of position. Ultimately, time fifth, the last of those drivers on 150.8. But yeah, great pole position for Kevin, especially considering the weight. I mean, honestly, I'm surprised that Riffel was able to find so much time. But then again, he was weightless, so maybe we should have expected him to be challenging a bit more.
Yeah, I think it's very much showing weight may not be as big an effect as we've said before. But yeah, Marcus Riffel maybe could have got. I think it was very close anyway. I think it was just 1.5 tenths between them all, like top three. So very close qualifying. It's going to be it'll be interesting if Marcus Riffel can actually do anything from that, knowing the two in front have got weight. So it's going to be I think a very interesting race. I think Canapino may have an issue being where he is. 11th is going to be. He's going to have a very tough race in his hands.
Right then, so I think it is time to have a little look through the standings, don't you? Let us go then and have a look at the drivers' standings as they are. Now, we were left in a very interesting situation last time out in Austria, where leaving the event, the top 4 were covered by 5 points. It was Risto Capit on 158, and then Siggy, Lapasa, and Canapino were all on 153. The only thing that separated them were wins and when their last win was as well. Because of Canapino's penalty in race 2 at Austria, the face of it has changed very slightly, but is still tantalizingly close. Risto Capit now on 159. Kevin Siggy still 5 points behind on 154. Then it's Lapasa on 153. Canapino losing 7 points down to 146. There's then a big gap back to Eric Strana on 123. But I'm shocked that he is that close, especially considering that he's missed 3 rounds this year. Imagine where he would be if he had perhaps been able to take part in those events. Jordan Weeks not here again today, P6 with 107. Same for Cameron Brewster, P7 on 93. This will give David Junt on the same amount of points, but behind because Brewster has had a second, whilst David Junt's highest has been a 3rd position. He'll be looking to gain a little bit of a gap on Brewster. And then Parker, also not here today, rounding out the, on 90 points there. And David Francic, who's had a wonderful streak of points. He didn't score for the first 2.5 rounds, and then he has been scoring non-stop. Only been outside of the top 10 once as a Croatian. He's deservedly rounding out the top 10 in the drivers and moving over to the team's championship. That penalty from Canapino has hurt Vodball Racing a little as Walk Racing gained. They're on 252 points, exactly 20 points ahead of Vodball. So within striking distance are Vodball, but you know they want to be as close as possible, really. Drag Racing then very close behind as well on 221, and must be said they are looking very, very good considering that they've got their new double pairing of Riffle and La Pasa. I'm thinking I've put in the results wrong there. I think I've put in one team's results and not the other, to be fair, so we'll sort that out anyway. Actually, I need to double check. Have I got that wrong?
James, what have you done?
I think the wiki standings in wrong, and it's ended up that, well, either way. Ice Cold's got 178, Enterprise 169, Mazurek 124, only 1 point ahead of Epic, so very close battle there. Torrent, who have been suffering with absentees all series long, are 8th on 109. THR, who've withdrawn, are still 9th on 107. And then Cosmo, who have again been suffering with attendance issues in the past couple of rounds, they round out the top 10 on 92. Just a bit of clarification. Yeah, Drag Racing is on 221. I just forgotten to put in the standings for one reason or another. So there we are. Oh, no, I know what I did wrong. Drake only had one car at Britain. So
yes,
I put Riffle's car back, or I put Riffle's results in Britain instead of Austria. So my bad. Never mind. So Drake is still very close, mind you.
Swiftly glossing over that.
Gonna change that now, actually. We'll have the chance.
Oh man, you got the chance.
Well, I got the chance.
People just doing practice stats, really, and getting those last laps in.
Mike Phyllis, you hate us. I don't hate you. I promise.
Mike, you love us, really. Come on.
I'm tired, and I forget sometimes that some teams don't show up sometimes. It's okay. Okay. But anyway, we've actually got 1.5 minutes of warm-up. That was a nice bit of time wasting, wasn't it? So, if you want to get in contact with us, either throughout the course of the 2 races this evening, or indeed just after the races to ask any questions you want, then please feel free to mention my Twitter handle on Twitter, of course, at KirkyLife, or hashtag GPVWC Live. Those are the certain things to get in touch with. Excuse me. Or if you're feeling cheeky, you can Facebook me if you're a friend, because I'll do those sorts of shout-outs, of course. 50 seconds left to go. Stefan, your thoughts ahead of the race. Who do you think is in a prime position to take the race 1 win? Is the weight going to be too much for the front 2, or has their defiance of the weight in qualifying shown good signs for these 2 battling out for the race 1 win?
Well, they've got past the first hurdle with weight, so they've done qualifying all right. I think ultimately, I believe the battle will probably be between Siggy and Caput. Ultimately, they're the 2. If Caput can get a good start, I can kind of see Risto kind of maybe trying to get away. I do believe it is going to be very close between the 2 of them. Weight may play a factor. As you said, there isn't really that many straights around, so it won't play a factor in terms of straight line speed. It's just if they can get it round the corner. I honestly do think, though, it'd be quite interesting to see what Marcus Riffle can do being weightless. Is it going to play advantage during the race? He hasn't the full effect, mate. You could say it in qualifying, but maybe the race it could come into his hand ultimately. He had a very good race in Austria. I think he finished 2nd, was it?
He was 11th and 2nd were his results.
11th, 2nd. So the kid can drive. So it'd be very interesting to see how it. I think it'll depend on the start. The start is very key to how this race turns out. I think. I see it playing out.
Yeah, his last results, Marcus, have been 20th, 15th, 17th, 11th, 11th, 2nd. And he's been showing a lot better pace, mind you, since he moved to Drake. So I think I will actually concur with you. I'm going to say Riffle to possibly take his first win in the series. Or Mr. Phyllis would like that a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be happy with that prediction.
But of course, do not count out the likes of Capit, of Siggy, of Strana in there as well, Heasterbeek, the Passer as well. Start accidents can happen, of course. As we move into our first race session, 15 laps of racing action to get through. Very hard on the tyres, even these long-lasting endurance tyres. And a very interesting race prospect ahead of us. To be fair, actually, Stefan, I'm just looking back here at the 2014 results. So Canapino won race 2, Yunt won race... Sorry, Canapino won race 1, Yunt won race 2. Canapino has won only one race this year, so he might be able to double up here. Yunt hasn't won a single race this year. Maybe people to look forward to coming through the field, maybe in race 2. We'll wait and see. Either way, Kevin Siggy leads us off on pole position for Enterprise GP from Risto Capit for Walk Racing. They are 2 and 1st in the championship on 36 and 45 kilograms each. Behind them is the weightless Marcus Riffle for Drake Racing, followed by Eric Strana for Ice Cold Racing. He actually has 9 kilograms of weight ballast on board that Ice Cold of his, so not exactly out of the woods. And behind him, Pedro Oliveira, also weightless. P5 for Cosmo Autosport with Ruud Heesbeek. We welcome back the Dutchman. P6 for Walk Racing. Filling in for Cameron Brewster. Behind him, Martin Lapassa. A bit disappointed to be so far behind his championship rivals. 27 kilograms on board that Drake car. David Franchich behind him in P8 for Triple 20. The top 10 rounded out by the 2 Mazuriks of Sender Reese in P9 and Tobias Olsen P10. Wolfgang Hoekstra will start P11 for Racing Team Stroton, and he's followed by the 2 Vodballs. Augustin Canapino with 18 kilograms of weight ballast, and his teammate Fran Lopez 13th with no kilograms of weight ballast. Bart de Vos will start P14 for YDF1 with David Yunt, the race 2 winner last year, P15 for Lusitania Racing Team. Philip Pushka will start P16 for Enterprise GP with Thomas Hinz. We welcome back Thomas, that's a man who I forgot. The Australian starting P17 for Woods. Johan Lindberg starts P18 for Ice Cold Racing with Roy Schroten, P19 for YDF1, and P20 is rounded out by Jeffrey Fournier for Epic Racing Team. Tom Cabrera starts P21 for CM Tech Racing with Wesley Morris, P22 for Tayfor Motorsports. We welcome back Ilya Bracalo, P23 for Triple 20 with Menno Klont, P24 and back in the Tayfor. Sander Lane starts P25 for CM Tech Racing, and we welcome in Quinton Plain, P26 for Epic Team Racing, and rounding out the grid will be Tyrone Frith, P27 for TTF Racing, and Jack Mayer, P28 for Lusitania Racing Team after serving out a 10-place grid penalty.
8-car grid is what we like to see. So it's going to be a very, very interesting race. Could easily be a procession, but that's due to the nature of the circuit, but let's hope it isn't.
No, indeed. There is plenty of overtaking opportunities. It just depends whether those opportunities can be made and executed cleanly, of course. And Mike Phillips with a little... Mike Phillips pointing out the Woods is switching between race directors. There was Chris Williamson in the car last time out, and now Thomas Hinz in the car this time. Yeah, they are the race directors team, aren't they? We wish Thomas the best of luck, of course, on his return to the World Sports Series.
As he would say, just chuck it up the inside.
Chuck it up the inside, exactly. He has actually scored points this year as well, Thomas. He scored 2 for Wouters Automotive. We'll see whether we can score a couple more by the end of this evening. As we look to the lights now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 lights in here for the first time in Hungary. We're racing, and it's a great getaway from Siggy. Capit also with a good getaway away from Marcus Striffel there in 4th. Pedro Oliveira with a slightly slow start. He's lost out to Heesbeek already with the pass and not really getting away well in 7th. As we come down to turn 1 now, it is Siggy who remains in the lead, going a little bit deep though, able to hold on, but here comes Risto Capit up the inside. Yeah, Siggy went very deep. The good thing about turn 2 though is that Siggy will have the inside here, and into turn 2 we go there. Look at Marcus Riffle already on the inside, and Capit, oh, a little bit loose there as we go through single file behind Pedro Oliveira, trying to get back past Ruud Heesbeek around the outside. Goodness me, of turn 3 there, a bit brave, and all 28 drivers seem to have gotten away. Okay, actually, that is a lie. Johan Lindberg, the first out was, oh my goodness me. David Francis tried to go up the inside of turn 4, a kamikaze move. He loses out to a lot of drivers there. Oh, contact there through turn 5. Everyone trying to bunch up as up at the front, Kevin Siggy, Capit, Riffle, Strana will try to stream away. He's been mounting the second part of that chicane. Surprised he didn't spin around there. Not that high for the World Sports Series cars, but again, they are not that high to be trying to do that. Canapino with a great launch to consider. They're up to P9, Olsen up to P8. De Vries with a poor launch. He's down to P11 with Francis down to P10 after that poor attempt of a move into P10. Lindberg currently the only man who retired on that first lap as we head into the final sector for the first time today. Siggy with a decent lead over Capit. Riffle, after early aggression, now finding himself under a lot of pressure from Eric Strana actually as well. Heesbeek and Oliveira in close pursuit as well as we enter the final turn with this long snaking train. Everyone trying to find their own way and not get caught up in the understeer. But as we end lap 1 then, it is Siggy from Capit, Riffle, Strana, Easterbeek, Oliveira, Lapasa, Olsen, Canapino and Francic.
That was a very good start from Siggy. He did exactly what he needed to do. And I think, yeah, you can see he got away very nicely. Capit was way as well. A very clean first turn. And as you said, mentioned a couple of times, people were making some brave moves, especially going into inside of turn 4 first lap. That is incredibly brave, but slightly dangerous at the same time. Riffle is starting to fall back slightly, which is a bit of a surprise. You'd have thought he would have been able to keep onto the back, but that is what it is. Easterby got a nice little start, now into 5th. Canapino's in 9th, so he's jumped 2 cars at the start, so that's good for him in his race. But, yeah.
I did notice that Canapino actually did have a little look at Olsen into turn 1, but went very deep and so has fallen back behind into P9. Very much into little clusters now, aren't we? We're into Siggy versus Capit, Riffle versus Strana, Easterbeek versus Oliveira, with Lapasa sort of tongue to the back as Canapino dives on the inside of Olsen, forces him wide, and Canapino takes the position. It is only one way through there. And up the inside goes, Lopez into Francic. That is a mighty move to make into turn 8 there. Lopez around the outside of Francic. Oh, he runs wide, though. I think he was able to keep it just about in track. No, Francic keeps the position. Oh, my goodness me. Very close racing through Sector 2. That is mad. And how those guys came out in one piece, I don't know. Is Oliveira up the inside of Easterbeek into turn 11 there. Sorry, turn 12. Not able to do anything. But the Portuguese really wanting to get his elbows out here, isn't he? As Olsen looks up the inside of Canapino into turn 13 as well. Nothing doing so far. Great to see people with a bit of confidence to race, though. Really dynamic moves going on. People are struggling with understeer now as the stage goes on, as De Vries looks up the inside of Lopez there for P11 and P12, and it looks like they're going to go side by side. Yeah, but the thing here is that Lopez has got the slipstream of Francic here, actually. So he's going to pull ahead. De Vries will no doubt try to get into the action as well, but nope. Lopez, very smart driving. They're using the slipstream of Francic, though. Now he's got to try around, he's got to go around the outside of Francic. And that's going to give Sven De Vries a bit more of a chance to get the move done as we head into turn 2 with these guys once again. De Vries around the outside, Lopez holding on just about, very close racing, but Francic is... De Vos around the midfield there. De Vos in the midfield. And thankfully, I don't think he hit anyone, to be honest. So nice avoiding action from everyone there. Unfortunate for De Vos down to P19, unfortunately. But remember, we've got a reverse grid of 15 to 20 cars in race 2. So there's always a chance to score points then. The top 2 still running away as De Vries has finally passed Lopez there into P5. And now Lopez has got to be very careful as Wupke Hoekstra has caught onto the back of this train as well. Behind them, David Junt and Roy Schroten round out the points. But yeah, Kevin Siggy and Cap are starting to pull away now. Eric Strana, by the way, has gotten past Marcus Riffle as well. So the Swede now into P3. And it seems like he's starting to lose Riffle as well. Very funny how the weightless Riffle is starting to fall back now, even into the hands of Easterbeek. And I see behind, Oliveira's lost position to Lapasa there and is under increasing pressure from Canapino as well. So up the front here, positions are starting to switch. And maybe Strana is the unknown quantity in this race, which we have failed to consider. He's looking pretty strong going into lap 4 of 15.
Yeah, it's very true. He's very much starting to pull away from Riffle already. So it'll be interesting to see what Strang can do. These two, Siggy and Capit, are going to start having a good old fight, so that'll help him as well. It'll start to slow them down, and Strand could catch right up to the back of them as Mike keeps messing what that was for. But further on down the field, it's going to be a very interesting top 3 battle. It has to be said. If Strand can get to the back, then we may be in for a tasty little fight to the end of the race. So for that one,
Indeed,
down the outside of Francic? No, probably not. No.
John, must be said, Strana has 2 race wins this year already, so it's really no doubting his speed. And it's a great battle up the front, but there's no moves being done behind. I noticed that is a Mazurek on the back of Canapino. They're trying to put more pressure on the Argentine. Francic has really... He's not gotten going, has he? I've said he's been on a great streak. Only been outside the top 11 once since he was scoring points in the second race of round 3 this year. He's being threatened to lose that streak, unfortunately, though, or to add another outside the top 10 position to his name, as De Vries and Lopez are right with him. Hoekstra in there as well. Junt starting to escape. Now Philip Pushka, sorry, who's into P15 past Jeffrey Fournier. We've also had another retirement, sorry, in the form of Tyler in 5th, but it's all very close racing, isn't it? Perhaps we can go back up to the front here with Siggy and Capit. It is a real nose-to-tail affair with these two, as Strana seems to have made a mistake, maybe putting himself under a little bit of pressure from Marcus Riffle, but we've seen Siggy do some impressive defending this week already. He defended for so many laps at the International Touring Cup and failed to get a win. It almost seems like a bit of deja vu, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It was good defending from Siggy at ITC, but ultimately, yeah. So this is Capit's going to have a tough meal of this. He's going to find quite a brave way of getting past, I reckon. Siggy, as we know, will not give this lead up easily, right? By any means. He's a very determined driver. So Capit is going to have to do some serious work.
And I'll tell you, the way the points would work as well, if these two were to finish in this order, that would mean that the two of them would be on exactly the same points going into race 2. Because they're 5 points separated.
They are indeed. So that would... tell you what, that would make race 2 all the more exciting, wouldn't it? As I think Capit may have just cut turn 4.
You think?
I'll have to check.
I'm not too sure. But it must be said, actually, if they were to be on the same points, then Capit actually... Oh, no. Siggy's had 2 race wins this year, hasn't he? So if Siggy was to win this race, then technically he would become the championship leader because he would have had 3 race wins, matching Capit, and he would have had the latest race win as well.
Yeah, so he should. Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, of course, still another race to go this evening, but
and
this is very much
laps to go here. So.
Oh, as Strana's disc. Oh wow, Strana had a massive lag out moment there.
I was going to say.
I thought he had disconnected.
I thought I disconnected.
He is back into this race, thankfully, and into P3, still ahead of Marcus Riffle. Rude, he's to be starting to catch up onto the back of those two, actually. So Strana, after some good laps being pumped in, starting to fall away. Behind La Pasa, Oliveira and Canapino fighting over for P6. Olsen's fallen well off the back of that in P9. Francis still holding on to P10, though, ahead of De Vries. Lopez has really fallen off the back of those guys, falling back into the clutches of Hoekstra. Junten, Pushka currently still rounding out the P14, 15 and 16 slots with Fournier. It actually looks like Pushka might be eyeing up a move here on David Junt into turn 1. The German goes to the outside, the Lusitania driver. Into turn 1 we go. And nothing doing just yet. Oh, is Pushka going to get the cutback, though? Yes, he does. And he's nicely into P14. A nice move from the German, though the Swiss driver's going to look up the inside of turn 2. He sticks his nose up there. Nothing doing, though. Nice movement from the German up into P14. Ahead, by the way, as well, David Francic has lost out quite a lot there. Down from P10 to P12 by both De Vries and Lopez. I'll just have a little look at what happened there. Oh, actually, he went far. He lost it into turn 1. Went far too wide. Lost the position to De Vries. And Lopez was up the inside of turn 2. A bit of contact there, but the Spaniard got it done.
He did get it done. That was a good move. Nice fighting between the two of them. So I was wrong. There is definitely action all around.
It's nice to see so many moves, actually. Don't usually get this at the Hungaroring.
No, I was going to say, it's very satisfying to see. Usually, if you position your car well, you can't, you can keep people behind you, but this is very refreshing to see.
As there was a bit of movement there. I don't know who it was. I think it was Oliveira and Canapino potentially switching positions.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, so Canapino's passed Oliveira.
And now he's passed Oliveira, so that's Canapino doing some work.
Up to P7 is the Argentine. Yeah, a great start from P12. Great to see.
Good for volleyball.
It is very good for volleyball. It's a decent point score, but it's not as good as Walk. I mean, look at that. 2nd and 5th for Walk currently. So both volleyball drivers are behind them in terms of Drake as well. Not looking much better. P4 and P6 for the Drake outfit. So Walk currently doing a very good job. And actually, it's just about to get worse. It was worse. Oliveira up the inside has spun round to turn 1. And he's going to lose a whole host of positions here down to P13. Don't come back on there.
Good boy.
And he is out of the points just like that. Oliveira down to P16.
A full circuit this, and it will bite you if you make a mistake. And that's what happened there. It's quite unfortunate, but ultimately paid the price. Got to fight his way back up now. Keep his focus.
He's of course got race 2 to consider though as well.
Oh, reverse grid pole.
The top 15 to 16. Oh, sorry, 15 to 20 reverse grid. Could be on for some very goods. I mean, it's not confirmed there. He needs to get P15 to be confirmed to be in that reverse grid, as there is a bumper there. And I don't know whose it is. It looked like a Vodball to me, but it's not. Just going through the field. Oh, it would be the Epic Racing car there of Quinton Plain. So Quinton out, our third retirement of the day, unfortunately. 3 retirements on lap 7 of 15 here. Almost to go on to lap 8 with the leaders, who are still... They have not left each other's bumpers, have they? Still 4 tenths separating the two of them. You wonder whether Kapic's just biding his time a little before trying to make a move behind Strana in third, Riffle fourth, and now under heavy pressure from Heasterbeek, who's caught right back up onto this. La Paz Rawl on his own in 6th. I'm sure he'll be happy with that. Then it's Canapino 7th. Olsen up into 8th. De Vries into 9th. And Lopez rounding out the top 10. Frančić 11th and Hoekstra 12th. Pushka 13th. Jans 14th. And Fournier now rounding out the points in P15 as into turn 1 we go again with Siggy and Capit. And still no move able to be done.
Yeah, very close between those two. Yeah, I wouldn't. You kind of might be a good shout. Is Capit just biding his time, or is he just? Can he not get? Oh, I think there's maybe
bit of a tap.
A very cheeky little tap saying, "I'm still here." Although I'm very much sure he will still know that. Eric Strand doesn't seem to have got away like before. He may have done. He's very much at the mercy of Riffle and Heasterbeek. So it'd be interesting to see if Strand can hang on to this third position. That would be a nice podium for him to get. Good for Ice Cold.
Of course, one advantage, actually, if he was to fall down to P5, is he would retain that 9 kilograms, which seems to be doing him very well here. I mean, we've got to remember that Riffle and Heasterbeek are both weightless in this scenario.
That is very true. So,
look how much Heasterbeek mounts that second part there. It gains so much time. And perfectly legal as well. It is the curbing, so...
Yeah, it's part of the racing line, so he's perfectly entitled to do that. So...
Things might be able to get better for Walkers. Strana going wide there again, as oh my goodness me, practically a 10th separating Sig and Capit. Cabrera becomes our 4th retirement of the day. Unfortunately, they're dropping like flies now. But I tell you what, this battle for 1st and 2nd, and this battle for 3rd down to 5th, almightily close. Great racing to see. It's just a shame that it seems like the kamikaze moves and the bold moves have all dried up a bit now as we head on to lap 9 of 15.
Maybe because everyone's settled down into some form of rhythm now. Everyone's getting very excited at the start. Everyone wants to get in the positions, and now it's called a case of, you know what, if this is going to be my position, I'll try and keep it now. Maybe not go for these ambitious moves that they could have done early race, because it may not have had an effect. But now you just want to stay in that rhythm, and I think that's what we're seeing here. Apart from these top two, very much still in tandem, and then 3rd to 5th. Clearly have something up their sleeve.
Heasterbeek, he was peaking. He was peaking for a move. Not able to do anything though, and there was a little bit of position swapping there. There it is. Fran Lopez and David Frančić going into combat P10 and P11. A little bit of contact there between the two, and Hoekstra not too far behind either as Fran Lopez goes wide. And will David Frančić see this as an opportunity? It's going to be a bold move going through into turn 4. He's tried it once before, not going to try it again. But the opportunity is there, and Hoekstra, if anything goes wrong between these two, will be looking to pick up the pieces. I noticed Philip Pushka and David Giantum coming close as well, and Fournier mounting the curves over the anti-cuts on the exit there at turn 4, and there are all sorts of pressure from Pedro Oliveira as well, who's looking to force his way back in the points. As I say, it's 15 to 20, the reverse grid. It's a random number, so P15 will mean that you are pretty much guaranteed a spot, and the Brazilian will want to be taking Fournier by the end of this race, and he's got the laps to do it. That's the important thing.
Yeah, there's still laps to make moves should you want to. He'll want that 15th position. He's working very hard for it. He's putting all sorts of pressure here. Will Fournier crack? He's very good. He's right on the bumper, so he may even try and move into... He's trying it.
Oh, Fournier turns in, but Oliveira is there. He had his car up alongside. Fournier will now have the inside of turn 13. Oliveira going to try around the outside. I don't think it's going to do him much good, unfortunately. Will he have the pacer? Oh, will he try up into turn 14 here? Oliveira. Oh, nice move.
Lovely stuff. That was well held through that. That is a very difficult corner to try and keep around the outside, and he did it perfectly.
Patient, patient, controlled, and well measured. Oliveira back into P15. Will Fournier have an answer into turn 1? We'll have a look. I reckon he's going to have a dive, isn't he? He has a look, but nothing doing. So the Brazilian able to hold on to that for now. By the way, David Frančić up into P10. He's gotten past Fran Lopez at turn 1 as well. So the Croatian back into the top 10. Lopez and Hoekstra in close pursuit. And Pushka and David Junstein to catch up onto the back of this battle as well. It could be a 5-way train for the top 10 as Siggy and Kappa still going in almost nose to tail. It's incredible to see the two of them hardly coming into contact. It's still Strana, Riffle and Heasterbeek behind, then Lapasa and Canapino in close pursuit, 6 and 7. Olsen 8th. Now losing time to his teammate De Vries in P8 and 9. I wonder how that is going to resolve themselves. And then, of course, we're back to this battle for P10. As, yeah, I'm wondering whether we should give a little airtime to Lapasa and Canapino. They're close, but not that close, to be honest.
Fournier got past back Oliveira. So.
Oh, did they? Oh, nice.
Yeah. So something's happened there.
Still very close, though. Goodness me.
I know.
Oh. Greatest team scrapping for the final point position, of course.
It matters, doesn't it?
It does matter, yeah.
And guarantee the chance. Or is he going to try it
Oliver
again?
up the inside again. Yep, surely he's got it.
Oh, that was close.
Fournier with the cutback, but I think Oliveira's got it. That was a nice late move from the Brazilian.
Got
He had his car up alongside.
Now.
And yep, surely that is move done. Now Oliveira's gone deep at turn 13. He'll have the inside line for turn 14, though. Yes, a nice move there from the Brazilian. Fournier, the Frenchman, looking up the inside. Not able to do anything, though. So the battle for P15 rages on. Oliveira holding on to that final point for now. We're on lap 11 of 15 with the leaders now. Siggy still leading by a pencil's length from Capit, it might seem like at times. Strana seems to have actually lost Riffle a bit now. Once again, in P3, Riffle looking to defend more of Heasterbeek than attack Strana behind. Then it's Lapasa and Canapino. Close, but not close enough. Then Olsen and De Vries, who goes a little wide. And there's Lopez under all sorts of pressure from Hoekstra. Francic has lost this battle for P11 now. And Lopez under all sorts of pressure from both Hoekstra and Philip Pushka, who was caught up in the space of a lap. Increasing pressure on the Spaniards.
It needs to keep it together because those two very hungry drivers ready to take that position away from Hoekstra is all over the back. It's very clean and close racing. It's what we like to see, but I kind of wonder how long can. Tell you what, this is Pushka's giving it a go as well. It's all just nice and close and good stuff.
Right on it. Right on it.
Used to be it's all over Riffle as well, so.
Yeah, and Kappa's been all over Siggy for the entire race. It's hard to look to see where a move is being done because they're all very close, but they're not exactly launching themselves to the moves. The only guy who has been able to do that so far is Pedro Oliveira, who's been able to hold on and actually pull away from Fournier this lap. So I think that P15 pretty much is. I'm just looking at Siggy versus Capit in particular on this lap. It seems that Capit just can't seem to get any. He's in the slipstream for the entire straight and he can't get past. Is that the extra 9 kilograms doing their worst?
It potentially could be, you know. He has.
Oh, sorry, Lapasa and Canapino very close there. That is slipstream from Canapino, and the Argentine could be looking at an extra point here from P7 to P6, all over the back of Lapasa currently, who's struggling a lot with the 27 kilograms.
That was heart and mouth. It has to be said, there's Capit and Siggy have been on. Capit's been on a string to Siggy this entire race and hasn't managed to get past. I think we're pretty much seeing the same with Riffle and Heasterbeek as well. And then, but actually, it has been done, as we mentioned, Oliveira and Fournier. So moves can be done. It's just, it's not literally the ideal opportunity. You have to be right on the back to make it count. And Pedro's done it properly. Can Beak and Capit do it? The walk guys, effectively.
The walk guys are looking very good from this overall, aren't they? Still 2 and 5.
This is very good points for them, yeah.
Vodball damage limitation at the moment. I think it's going to be interesting to see how race 2 goes. I notice Marcus Riffle going wide again there at the edge of turn 12. Behind, though, look at Canapino and Lapasa here. Canapino all over the back of Lapasa, who's going ultra defensive in any effort to try and retain his P6. It's big points here between two warring factions at the sharp end of the team's championship.
Yeah, this matters. This really does matter. You're right. It is damage limitation for Vodball. Better play to Canapino. Came in late. He's doing the job he needs to do. He's very much done damage limitation.
Oh, sorry, capping down the inside of Siggy. Oh, contact between the two. And oh dear me. Oh, Kapis Lenin back through. Great professionalism from the Estonian. I was wondering if Risto was going to go for a dive into turn 1. You know. He was getting so frustrated after so little impact to the slipstream. He went for a dive. He hit Siggy pretty much in the door. And Risto, noticing his errors, he said, you know, go back through, Kev. That was my bad. But he's beginning to get desperate now, Risto. And I do wonder whether we're going to be seeing the battle for the lead really flare up now.
That was... ultimately, that may be the only way you can actually get a move done. It's been that tight. So, good professional respect between the two of them. Capit realizes this and gave the place back. Now he's just got to do it all over again.
Very close battling between these two. It's lap 13 of 15, I remind you. So at the end of this lap, there will only be 2 more laps left before we're going to have to call it quits. As Lapasa and Canapino very close again. Canapino almost pushing Lapasa around the racing circuit. I don't think they're under any sort of pressure from Olsen and De Vries behind, but Canapino really wants to get a move on, to be honest. And yeah, Lapasa is visibly struggling. Canapino, look at him. He's looking everywhere, trying to find a good braking zone.
Isn't he? This is pressure if you want. This is... Fair play to Lapasa, though. He's not braking, is he?
Oh, wow. We're on the outside from Canapino. That's bold. Not able to do it, though. And actually, to be fair, I was saying that there's not much pressure from Olsen. I think Olsen is catching at this rate. And Lapasa's just putting his car in all the right places. Canapino must be fuming inside that cockpit of his. I wonder whether he's going to go for a dive. Oh, surely there's going to be a move here. Lapasa goes ultra defensive right up to the pit wall. Canapino alongside. He's going to have to go the long way around into turn 1 if he wants to get this done. He's going to try it. Brakes late. He's going to get the cutback, as Stefan says. But Lapasa still able to hold on. Great defending from the Estonian.
I think Lapasa seems to... I don't know. I think it might marginally be getting better exits. Like from turn 1, he just seemed to get away an inch better. And you're right, Lapasa is placing this car to perfection. This is what... Although he does go slightly wide, and Canapino is going to be on the outside.
Not around the outside.
Please, not around the outside of turn 4.
Oh my lord! And well,
Lapasa's gone deep.
That worked well for Canapino. He is up into P6. Lapasa with a slightly dodgy rejoin, but back on just ahead of Olsen. He's got to be careful of Olsen though. Oh dear, what has happened to Hoekstra? He is down to P15, and oh no! That was going into turn 2. He went wide. He had contact with Lopez. To be fair, I'm not sure what Lopez could have done there. Hoekstra just went, got involved with Oliveira and Yunt as well. Down into P15. The biggest benefactor of that, though, would have been Philip Pushka. He's now up into P11 ahead of Lopez. Oliveira back into P13. Yunt up to P14. Hoekstra still there in P15. But, well, it could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot better, though, as well.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for Lopez. He couldn't really do anything.
Goodness me, his head, sorry. Pushka and Lopez. Lopez around the outside of turn 11. Oh, I think he's gone off track there, actually, to be fair. Sorry, turn 12. I keep on getting those two wrong. Not sure if that's too legal, Mr. Lopez. We'll wait and see. Pushka, either way, looking to fight back. Oh, around the outside of turn 14. Side by side still. Final lap of the race, by the way, as these two continue on. Siggy has actually extended the gap out to 5/10. I do wonder whether that hit on the door of Siggy has damaged Capit's front end as Pushka and Lopez go side by side into turn 1. Pushka brakes later, and around the outside of turn 1. Great move from the German. He secures P11 once again. Watch out for Oliveira, though. He is really on a charge, isn't he?
He is. Oliveira is on it after his little spin. He'll be willing to get all that back that he lost, and he's doing it really well. He kind of benefited from the little rookie error. He's benefited from that, but he's made it stick. On the Lopez front, he did actually track extend to, so ultimately it wouldn't have counted as a move had it been investigated. As Lopez is looking down the outside, that would be brave.
Pushka able to hold on. Oh wow, Lopez! What a great bit of traction he has there, going into the chicane. It's one way through there, Lopez, and he goes wide. He's going to have to get the position back as he does. I'm just going to have a look up at the front here, though. Look how close Siggy and Capit is. Capit, ran out right to the ragged edge. Siggy with the most robust of defending here. Final corner, surely. Capit, look up the inside, but he can't do it. Round the final corner, it was marginal, but Kevin Siggy converts pole to his 3rd race win of the year, and with it takes the championship lead. Risto Capit 2nd, Strana 3rd, Riffle 4th, holding off the pressure from Heasterbeek. Canapino from P12, a great drive for the Argentine. He ends up P6. It'll be La Pasa P7, Olsen P8, De Vries P9, Francic P10. And behind, it's a very close battle. Oliveira's taken Lopez in this little scrap, but Pushka will come home P11. Oliveira P12, Fran Lopez P13, David Jump P14, and Wupke Hoekstra will start off our reverse grid candidates. Behind him, Fournier, Hinz, De Vos, Morris, and Schroten.
That gap between the two says it all, really. 2/10 is the finishing gap. That pretty much sums up their race. Ultimately, it was brilliant racing between the two. Risto just couldn't get past, and even when he tried, it didn't work out, and ultimately it was respectful driving between the two. But I'll tell you what, that was a good race overall. I enjoyed that. It was some
very enjoyable
across the whole board, really. It was you're right. Especially Canapino did a great job, really, from 11th to 6th in this kind of circuit. Great job from him.
Your 5 retirements were Lindbergh, Frith, Plain, Bracalo, and Cabrera, and I think the Menno Klont actually there retired on the final lap as well, unfortunately, but he will be classified there in P22. But yeah, great racing. And more importantly, we have a new championship leader, albeit on the latest win out of 3.
That has good ramifications for Siggy and the championship, so that puts him ahead. So race 2 is going to be very interesting between these two. It's going to mean a lot to Capit. He will want that back. Indeed, he will.
Good respect shown between the two. They are both very happy with their battle, and so they should be. The lead never extended from outside 5/10. What an incredible battle for all 15 laps. Truly the class of the field today. And I think the biggest surprise out of all of that was how Strana, Riffle, and Heasterbeek couldn't capitalise and couldn't seem to find any sort of pace to respond to the front two.
It was very. I thought Eric Strand would have probably gotten to the back of them, but he just didn't seem to be able to catch up. And then Heasterbeek just couldn't find the way past Riffle, so it's kind of stalemate, really, that 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So it proves it is difficult to overtake, but it can be done. But yeah, great race. Good race 1. Now on to race 2.
And of course, remember that now with race 2, the weight ballast gets taken over or gets switched over. So Siggy and Capit have their weight switched around. Siggy will now have 45 kilograms of weight ballast. Capit will have 36. Strana will increase to 27 kilograms of weight ballast, while Marcus Riffle will inherit 18. And Ruth Heasterbeek on his first race this evening will inherit 9. So crucially, Canapino loses his weight ballast and La Pasa loses his weight ballast as well. What sort of impact can they make in race 2? I guess we'll have to wait and see what the reverse grid is. I'm sure that they will be hoping for the minimum of a 15 reverse grid.
Yeah, reverse grid port. We see.
Anyway, we're just moving. Oh, sorry, go on.
Oh, it's fine.
I don't know. I was wanting to see what you said.
I was just thinking to myself.
Oh, okay.
Rather awkwardly said something when I was to make it seem really awkward, so okay. That very quickly.
Well, how about we get a little bit less awkward, and who did you think was your driver of the race there? Because, I mean, there's a lot of candidates to choose from.
So many, such good defense. I think, to be honest, I reckon I'll give it to Siggy. He just defended very well against Capit, who just didn't let off that entire race. So I would say, under a lot of pressure. I mean, I saw it in a World Series 3.5 race at Hungary, and the leader just held on so well, and it just shows if you can defend well, you can keep it identical to what I saw, and Siggy replicated that really well. So I'd have to give it to him.
Well, if you're going to go for Siggy, then I will select a different candidate in Agustin Canapino, because I think it's very difficult to overtake around this Hungaroring, and he went from P12 to P6 over the case of it, and with some lovely overtakes as well. Waiting patiently for drivers to make mistakes. Also, a good battle with La Pasa near the end there as well. And the good thing for him as well is that he's got no weight for race 2 as well. So he's done this. He's done this all before with weight. He can do it again in race 2 without weight, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was just a good race from everybody. Really, there was a couple of laps in concentration from some people, but overall the racing was clean. It was close. It was nice to see. Ultimately, it was unfortunate for those DNFs we had, but they were kind of on their own errors. What's happened?
Reverse grid 20. So And Siggy's gonna and the baby's gonna come back anyway. So this is the front 3 rows then. And it's an interesting front 3 rows, especially if you're a YDF1 team owner. Roy Schroten on pole from Wesley Morris. Bart DeVos 3rd with Thomas Hinz 4th. Jeffrey Fournier 5th with Whoopke Hoekstra 6th. None of those drivers have won a race this year. The only man to get a podium is Bart DeVos.
It's going to be an interesting front 3 rows, I'll give you that. That's yeah, so like what we had in last year with P20. That's gonna kind of hurt Siggy and Catholic kind of
gonna hurt anyone who's in the top 10, to be fair.
Yeah, that's ouch. We know how to, well, to be fair, we've seen it done. We've seen overtakes happen, and we've seen kind of recovery drives, but this is on a different scale for these guys, so they will want to get up into the points as quick as possible.
I'm interested to see the full grid, to be fair, just to see what it's like. Because, as I say, there's no race winner in that top 6. The only one who's got a podium is Bart DeVos. It will be a very interesting race indeed. I'm just going to have a little look on the Twitter sphere, see whether anyone has messaged me, or indeed the Facebook sphere, because I told people if they wanted to, they could message me. Why not? No messages through from there. What about hashtag GPVWC live? Live.
Left again.
Nothing. Nothing. Sad. Well, anyway. Got a bit to discuss then in this little warm-up. We go on a break after this, Stefan. No more racing for another 6 weeks.
I'm going to miss it. Well, what am I going to do?
What? I'd maybe go out the house like me.
Yeah, let's just go out and get drunk.
What is the sun?
Yeah, mate.
Six whole weeks, yeah, from Mike Phillips, yeah. We return on the 5th of August, and we've only got 2 more rounds left, actually. It's Spa and Monza.
Oh, they're 2 good tracks to end on, as you said. Classic circuits.
And hopefully we're going to have 4 excellent races, I should say, just like we had last year. Just the cameras off then, yeah. I'm thinking actually of maybe doing like a championship protagonist like stats thing. So we have the tables now, but I'm going to see whether I can't do like the 4 championship protagonists and their stats and everything, and we can flash that up at the start of every broadcast and wait and see. We've got 6 weeks to do something, so
yeah, we can think of
like have like a profile picture or something.
Oh, don't worry, Mike's got
Mike's got plans.
Oh, you got this, Mike, have you?
The media mogul himself.
I tell you what, it's going to be a long 6 weeks.
It will be, yeah. There's nothing on.
I know.
Like, honestly, we've got Career Ladder next week, and then nothing.
That's all, yeah. Don't want to miss Career Ladder though. It's going to be a.
I'm just actually going to check when we return, like when we actually return with racing.
I believe Career Ladder comes.
It's July there, so we return on the 28th of July with Open Series at Belgium.
Belgium, such a classic circuit.
It's the longest track on our calendar, Belgium, as well.
Oliveira and Thomas Hinz have left the game. Lucky. We need to get back in. We've got 47 seconds, lads.
Yeah, indeed.
James, you're on pole according to the table.
Sorry?
You're on pole according to the table.
I have the speed.
Yeah.
The need. Oh, no, I can't say that. That'd be a sponsor thing.
Off EA suing us. James, don't do that.
Can't say EA either.
Damn!
Sponsor. So what's a YouTube strike? No. Either way, we have people re-entering, thankfully, now. So we have Lopez in, Oliveira in. I think we need to wait for Hinzi to re-enter, though, especially given that he's starting P4. He'll want that.
Yeah, he was talking about no pressure with that, so yeah,
nope,
with that one.
No pressure. No pressure. No plugs. No plugs, yeah. Session ended. I'm just gonna wait. Oh, there it is. Hinzi's back.
Hinzi's back. We can get on with it.
So we got three. I think we've lost drivers though. Still, people haven't come back, unfortunately. After they left the race, or they left race 1 and they didn't come back for race 2. I don't see. Oh, there comes Cabret.
Yeah, I think Lindbergh left. Or is he still in?
Lindbergh's back.
Oh, left.
We started with 28, wouldn't we? I think. So we're missing 1.
Who's missing? I'm trying to turn a photo screen.
Was it Jack Mayer?
No, he's here. Is he? Oh, he is there.
Who's gone walkabout?
I was going to make a silly pun and say, was it one of the walk racing cars? But you know, I thought,
hey, it's a funny joke because it's
funny, yeah. 30, 20, 28 drivers, yeah?
When we started the evening with 28, I'm certain of it.
I think it's because I'm in spectate. Oh no, what am I on about?
Not on spectate, are you?
I am on spectate. Yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
That's
so you were
why,
in before?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So there is 28 still. Don't worry then. There we are, 28 drivers. It's all good. So, let's look at that top 10. Droten, Morris, De Vos, Inns, Fournier, Hoekstra, Yunt, Lopez. So the first position with a race winner this year is Lopez in P8.
That's a bizarre top 6.
We'll go through our predictions after the warm-up lap anyway. So, Roy Schroten then leads us off on pole position for why the F1 eventually. There we are.
There we go.
Get you gone, get into gear. There we are. Off you go. Off you go, son. Off you go.
We have a race to do.
We have Wesley Morris ends P2 for Tafel with Bart DeVos P3 for why the F1 looking very. There's some meaty points on offer here for why the F1, I think, if they can keep it together. With Thomas Hinds P4 for Woods. Then there's Jeffrey Fournier P5, Whoopie Hoekstra P6, David Yunt P7, who won race 2 last year. Maybe one to watch out for. Fran Lopez P8, Pedro Oliveira P9, and rounding out the top 10 is Philip Pushka. We then have David Francic, followed by the two Mazuriks of Sven de Vries and Tobias Olsen. And then have Martin Lapassa and Augustin Canapino, P14 and 15, now weight free. And then we go into the people with weight. Heasterbeek on 9 kilograms, Riffle on 18, Strana on 27, Capit on 36, and Race 1 winner Siggy and new championship leader Siggy on the full 45. Sanderlane then starts P21 for CM Tech with Menno Klontz P22 for Tafel. We then have Jack Mayer P23 with Tommy Cabrera P24. Ilya Bracalo will start P25. And then we have Quinton Plain P26, Tyron Frith P27, and Johan Lindberg P28. Given I thought we had more retirements. Never mind. Never mind. So, who is your prediction for the race 2 win here today, Mr. McCready?
It's a tough one because I'm tempted to say Bart DeVos. I know Bart DeVos has got some good pace, but I could even say the Y of the F1 have got a very good potential for some decent points there. So if Schroten could maybe do it, I don't know. I really don't know.
I was going to say DeVos.
Who are you going to say? I've got lag then.
Oh no, we're back. There we are. Goodness me.
There we are. What was your prediction then?
My prediction was DeVos.
Yeah, I was thinking DeVos as well.
But I think I would say watch out. These are James's. Keep an eye out on these guys. Watch out for 7, 8, and 9. Yunt, Lopez, and Oliveira. Yunt has had a podium this year. He won this race last year, this very specific race. Lopez is a double race winner this year. And Oliveira has scored a podium this year as well. So, plenty of action to come. 15 more laps around this Hungaroring. Maybe a new winner to add to the growing plethora of them this year. We shall wait and see as the final few cars line up in their grid boxes.
Tell you what, Morris has lined his car up. We know his intentions.
He's excited, good old Wesley Morris.
Go on, Wesley Morris.
We'll see what he can do for Tafel. There's already been a wonderful result for Tafel with Klontz at Monaco. Looks like Hinsey's backing up as well, getting very eager. That 4th position as well. If we look to the lights now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and here for the second time at Hungaroring. We're racing, and it's a great start from DeVos. Look at that from P3. Schroten slightly off the line, but he blocked off Morris well enough. DeVos straight into lead, and Morris with a decent getaway as well, past Schroten as we go down into turn 1. Lights flashing, but DeVos takes the lead there. There's Hinsey on the inside there. Trying to get a little, he's been bogged down unfortunately, but DeVos takes the lead. Morris with a great getaway as well there into P2. Fournier up into 4th, Hoekstra into 5th as well as we come streaming down into P2. I'm just looking who got the best results there. Look at that. Lopez up into P6. He has had a good start, the Spaniard. Yunt there in P8. Oliveira still there. In P9, Canapino up to P11. A great start there for the Argentine as we come streaming through turn 4. It's going to be going too wide through there as there's a couple of people trying to find their way. Oh, that's a Drake over the curbs. And that's Pushka into the barriers, unfortunately. He's been shuffled out of that order. Out of the points he goes. And hopefully rejoining good as well. Oh, dear, Lopez, what was that? Lopez with a nasty, nasty overtaking to the chicane. Far too eager. And Fournier, I feel a little bit unlucky there. Lopez launching in and going very slow as well. These guys in the midfield, got to calm it down. These are good points. You don't want to be throwing them away as we head now onto the small straight here in the lead up to Sector 3. Look how many people are going wide as well, trying to fight for position as Schroten goes on the inside of Morris. And Morris under increasing pressure here from the Dutchman, who got a poor start, but we know his race pace is there for sure. Heading through into the final couple of turns now. Quinton playing out already with an engine failure, unfortunately. But rounding the final corner then comes Bart DeVos. His lead is a second, and he is our leader onto lap 2. From Morris Schroten, Lopez Hoekstra, Fournier, Yunt, Oliveira, De Vries and Hins.
Oh, it was a stunning start from DeVos. He just got off the line. I almost thought it was a jump start. It was that good. He just literally bolted off the line. It was a stunning start to make. Wesley Morris doing well to hang on to second. If Schroten gets it, then this could be a really good race by the F1. Fran Lopez in 4th. Well, Menno's out by the way. He's just retired, so I don't know what's happened there.
I think he spun at the final turn actually.
That's quite unlucky. Fran Lopez, that was quite cheeky. You could tell Fournier wasn't happy. He was just giving some good taps behind. You could tell why he would be frustrated. He was very unlucky in there. But yeah, so all very tight together, isn't it? This is close race and everyone just shuffling around to get a good position.
Oh, and look at Schroten here on Morris. Morris starting to become a real bottle cork here. And into the chicane. Oh, Morris takes that very nicely actually. And that's really put it's putting Schroten on the back foot. And Lopez now right on the back. Hoekstra past Fournier as well. So the Dutchman up into P5. Oliveira up to P7. De Vries 8th. Yunt not made much inroads at all with Strada on 27 kilograms away past P9. The 2 walks, by the way, be 12 and 13. Canapino 11th and Siggy not made much headway at all up to P15 from P20.
So have a look down Morris.
Oh yeah, here goes Schroten, and Lopez going to try around the outside. He's gone off the track though. And he's going to run slightly wide. So Schroten is past Morris. And, oh, Lopez, you can't do this. You can't just hit someone on the back. It's rude and it's wrong. I know that you're impatient, but you've got to calm down. Mind you, there is reason to be impatient. DeVos flying up the road, but it is now a YDF1, 1-2. DeVos's lead increased to 3 seconds, and it's lap 3 already.
Well, yeah, Fran needs to calm down just a little bit. There's nothing to be gained. But
Lopez, why? That's so rude. And, oh, Morris off the track. Oh, he hits Morris, and there's a Mazurik off there as well. I'm not liking this racing from Lopez at all. Not at all. And Hoekstra now looking on the inside as well. Oliveira past Fournier. Oh, a little bit of a tank slapper there from Fournier. And, oh, it's getting a bit... It's not good racing at the moment here. And a little bit desperate. But Lopez under all sorts of pressure now. And Wookie Hoekstra behind. Wesley Morris holding on for dear life. Oh, my goodness me. De Vries. Morris was so slow down that corner. Oh, my word. How are all these cars getting... Oh, De Vries is round.
Oh, no, he saved it.
De Vries is round. And how many cars are here?
This is insane.
Oh my God.
And this has all started from Fran Lopez having a look down the inside of turn 1 with a rather ambitious move. It's just bunched everyone up again.
Oh,
this is insane.
Goodness me.
Fair play to Wesley, though. He held on to that quite well.
Fair play to Wesley, yeah.
He's still alright to keep
Legendary drive at the moment. Goodness. My word. As actually important move here. Schroten now under all sorts of pressure from Fran Lopez, and I am sincerely hoping that Lopez doesn't resort to more contests as Morris is round. Oh no! Curse of the commentator once again. And Morris is all the way out the points. What a shame. They're under pressure from Philip Pushka, who's going to dive up the inside. Oh, down to P20 is Morris. What a shame there. As Schroten just holding on to Lopez. This is actually quite crucial, as Lopez, I think, is in a prime position to win this race, though. Dubious contact. He has to be a bit more careful now. Yeah, Morris just spun it on his own, unfortunately. He went a bit too late on the brakes, and the rear just snapped. It was so unfortunate. That's unlucky for him. He is now way out of the points. Oh dear, and Yunt went for a go on Fournier, and look how many positions Yunt has lost there. Down to P10. Actually, look at Capit there.
Capit's up to 9th.
Up to 9th. That's
some dude, careful.
Be careful, yeah, and all flashing up ahead between Strana and Oliveira. And Siggy there in P13 as well. Lapasa P12 is... Oh, David Francic out of this race after such a great streak. That is his first retirement since the first 2 rounds of the year. David John gets it all wrong. Overturn 4 there. And contact there with Martin Lapasa. And Lapasa goes off. Go through. Siggy up the inside. And that's very good. Opportunistic driving from Siggy. Taking the position from Yunt. Lapasa down to P16 there. And that was just a bit of contact from Yunt. I'm not sure if that was his fault necessarily. But Siggy doing what he can to get back up the order. And now only 2 points behind Risto Capit. But hey, look who's in the middle of them. It is Ruud Heesterbeek. Perhaps this is his chance to shine now, as Roy Schroten up ahead, still unable, or Lopez I should say, still unable to get past him. No. I've done that in ITC, and that gets you a penalty. Thankfully, all of those guys getting through okay. Hoekstra, though, he wants more, doesn't he? He is very excited to see a podium in his sights. He sees if something goes wrong here, because Fran Lopez, he will surely know in the back of his mind Fran Lopez has been ambitious this race. And, you know, if he's ready there to see a potential second place should things go a bit leery. But look at that gap to Bart de Vos. 5.3 seconds now, and it's only lap 5. De Vos is on it. He is. As Hoekstra going up the inside of Lopez. And Lopez covers him off behind Fournier. And there's Canapino. Very interesting scenes here. So the Argentine now without weight up to P5 already. A great drive from the Argentine once again. Hungary really suiting him here. Despite coming in late in qualifying, he's up to P5, and he could prove yet another spice to the curry mixture in the battle up ahead for P3. He's doing a very good job. The weight, the fact that he's got no weight is really playing into his hands, and if he can catch up to this group of 3, there is a podium in store for him as Lopez. Oh dear, that was Schroten going. That was just Schroten understeering. Nothing that Lopez could do there. He has been let loose. He's into P2. I was just going to catch the boss. That was unlucky. Yeah, so Schroten just got a bit leery, and then Lopez had nowhere to go really. So just turned out, see if he can get past. He won't get past here. That'd be stunning if he got past around any of these few corners. But get a good exit coming out of this right-hander. You can actually look how fast Lopez is pulling away from these guys now. I know, right? Can he catch De Vos? Well, it's lap 5 of 15, so we've got to see what the timing beam says at the end of this lap, mind you. And look on the outside of Fournier. Oh, that's a nice move from Strana as well. That was lovely. And we've got this massive gaggle now, and Oliveira sticking it up there. He's taking a little bit of methodology from the Hinds rulebook of motorsport. Behind, is it me, or is Capit under pressure from Heesterbeek, his own teammate? He is, you know. I think this Heesterbeek's kind of like been just... you know what? Heesterbeek's getting a good run out of this at the final corner. And here goes Siggy with them as well. Look at this. Very interesting season. Oliveira up ahead on Jeffrey Fournier. Sven de Vries in amongst this action as well as Oliveira down the inside of Fournier. Oh, Siggy on the inside of Heesterbeek. Nothing doing there, but Oliveira is through on Fournier. And here goes Capit through as well. Fournier on the inside. Capit on the outside. Capit boxed in now with Oliveira there, and Fournier just holding off. So Capit lets through a bit of contact though. Ooh. As the Vries is through on Siggy behind actually. So double bit of bad news for Siggy. He's down to P12. Capit up to P8. That was Capit was right on the edge. That was a bit of a whack from Fournier. And he had it a bit harder. I think Capit would have been around, but Heesterbeek
De Vries and Siggy, these guys are close. I mean, if they're a couple of centimeters apart, it's that close, which is just how is this going to finish?
I don't know.
That said, though, Fran Lopez has dropped to second.
Yeah,
DeVos, so
that's what's exciting me. Look at that gap; it's gone up to 6.4.
This is.
And Roy hasn't exactly dropped off either. What has happened to Lopez's pace since he got loose of Roy? And actually, look at Canapino here as well, though. I wonder whether... I think they're too smart for this tactic, but maybe Lopez is holding up Stroton and Hoekstra to allow Canapino through, because Canapino is in the championship fight, remember?
It's true. You just don't know, do you?
Oh, dear. Oh, is that Heasterby ground? Yes, it is. Massive crash at turn 13
Oh,
there.
what's happened here? Oh,
Massive crash. Massive crash. I'm going to have a look. That was Siggy involved, I think. Let's see. Heasterby got a little look on the inside there of...
Oh, he got a touch off De Vries.
It was De Vries. Yep, De Vries just helped him round. And Siggy, like a slithery squirrel, managed to get through and Heasterby in. So big connotations there for walk racing. As Heasterby, I feel, is really starting... Oh, sorry, Roy. Look at Roy. Roy going back through for P2.
Go on, Roy.
Oh, wow, they're understeering like crazy through there, but the battle for P2 is still on. And he's got it. Unbelievable. Oh, side by side. Lopez hits Stroton off. And that is not good again. Heasterby out. What an interesting turn of events we hear. As look at that Canapino as well. Through on Hoekstra, contact between Roy Stroton.
I tell you what.
And as De Vries is out as well, as Stroton around the outside, it's all kicking off here. And it's all helping Bart De Vos. Into the chicane we go. Lopez defending from Stroton. Stroton cuts the chicane. And Canapino. Canapino. Oh,
this is getting messy. I can't wait.
Oh my goodness me, this is all very close, isn't it?
James, tell me when it's over.
Oh my goodness me, this is so tight. What has happened to Lopez's pace? He has dropped like a stone.
I wonder if he's got front end damage, maybe. Just little things like that can throw a car off.
Wow!
He's having to defend. He's whoop kicking a little on the. He's thinking better. Oh no, he is. Oh no, he's not. It's just a bit of a gap.
Stroton, goodness me.
This is
what is happening is Oliveira there under pressure from Capit and Hoekstra. Oh, sorry, Hoekstra's under pressure from Strana. Sorry, here comes Eric Strana from nowhere as well. He's into this battle as well.
Try hold around the outside. He'll have the space on the outside. This is.
Look at this slipstream now. Lopez, Stroton, and Canapino all in a row.
Oh, I don't see how this is.
Oh, Stroton to the inside. He's trying to Ricardo.
Oh,
and he's not able to do anything. Canapino with the cutback, though. Oh, look how slow out the corner Stroton was there in an attempt to defend the Canapino. He's got a great exit, hasn't he? Behind Strana is past Hoekstra, by the way, into turn 2, and that's a lovely move from Canapino around the outside of Stroton. Oh, Stroton, you can't do that either. That's bad, but Canapino straight back through. That is the position, I think.
Stan going to try and take advantage of this as well.
Not around the outside of turn 4, surely.
We've seen it done in real life, surely not.
Oh, it's very close. Stroton almost loses it over turn 4. And that's Oliveira going wide as well. Don't come back in there. He tries to get on the inside of Hoekstra behind Siggy as well in P9. So Capit's through to P6, actually. That is pretty crucial. He's gone past Oliveira and Hoekstra already. What is this order going to end up like? But look at De Vos now. He's lead 9.2 seconds and is halfway through this race. Now, interesting scenario here. Lopez v Canapino. Canapino let through. Canapino let through.
Logical decision, I think.
Interesting.
I think Canapino's just got some serious pace, and Fran Lopez really hasn't been able to pull away from Stroton, so... Is it going to be a double team case? Do we know? Is Canapino going to try and give Lopez a slipstream? We'll wait and see. But
9.5 seconds to make up, Canapino. Your move.
Yeah, you've got some work to do, my friend.
As going back to this mighty battle then for P4, Stroton still holding on from Strahler, and here is Risto Capit as well. Oliveira P7, Siggy past Hoekstra into P8 as Capit goes very wide there.
That was very wide. That's a different line altogether.
And could this give Oliveira a chance to look back through behind, or up ahead, sorry, Strahler and Capit, sorry, Strahler and Stroton, sorry, going into combat. Will Oliveira look on the inside? No, he won't, but Strahler will look around the outside of Stroton, nothing doing.
Back.
Oh,
he's got it already.
Wide,
Stroton's gone deep.
And he's holding on just about. Capit's got to be careful here. He's got points ahead of Siggy.
No, I'll tell you what, he's going to put his nose there.
Yep, Strana ahead though still. And so Strana up into P4. Schroten now the stop gap for the Risto Capit. For the Risto Capit. For Risto Capit, the walk racing driver. The lone walk racing driver, I remind you, in this field now after Heasterbeek's retirement. Gotta be careful. Oliveira and Siggy. Siggy up the inside of Oliveira. That's a late dive. Hoekstra going to look around the outside. That is far too far around the outside though.
He may come back in. Braked himself.
Yeah.
Oh, this is close.
All status quo so far.
How is this group going to finish? I really just don't know.
Capit's looking, isn't he? He is really, really looking. Is Capit and Schroten really a stopgap here? By the way, gap up at the front, still 9.5 seconds. DeVos is holding on lap 9 of 15 here. Will Capit take a look into turn 12? We've seen a couple of moves. Schroten already going defensive. Oliveira there as well. Oliveira's going to try to take the pair of them. And he doesn't get it done. Contact between the two. And Siggy's going to try and say thank you very much. Up into turn 13. And Siggy is through there into P13. Then. Will Oliveira hold on around the outside? No, he doesn't. So, Pedro Oliveira with an opportunistic move. Not able to make it stick, but Capit up the inside of turn 14. He is going to make the move here. But here's the thing. Siggy will have the slipstream. Capit won't. He actually dives back in. It is a direct championship battle here between first and second in the championship once again. Oh. This time it's for lower points. So, and Siggy, almost forced out wide. Oliveira tries to come back in. Capit out wide. Contact between Oliveira and Siggy. And I think Oliveira should be back through. That was all a little bit messy, unfortunately. Siggy holds on for P8, though. Oliveira will try to cut back. Contact between the two once again. Oliveira not able to make it, but Capit is looking a little bit ruffled. Schroten providing a most interesting stopgap up ahead. Strana putting pressure on Lopez as well. And the gap at the front is now down to 8 seconds. So it is coming down, finally.
It's, yeah, it's like a different race for Butler the Boss, you know, just nothing happening, and yet 8 seconds back, everything's happening. So interesting to see what Canapino do. If he you know, the gap at which he catches up kind of continues to grow, and it's going to be very interesting to enter the race. And I think it's only 5 laps left, so interesting step ahead.
Surely not up the inside here, Capit. No way. Capit's getting very anxious, isn't he? He knows he is right behind him. As Schroten goes wide. Surely that's the position for Capit. Surely that's the position for Capit. And indeed he is. Alongside he goes. And Schroten's going to try the cutback. He cuts the grass, though. And Siggy's got to make a move very soon as well now. Otherwise, he's going to be left behind up the inside of turn 13. Can't really do it there. Not enough space. And mind you, Oliveira's right there as well. And actually, is Siggy through? How has he made that sick? Schroten up the inside again now, though. Siggy goes outside wide. And he's going to surely... Oh, his lights flashing. I'm not sure why they were there. But he's going to get into the slipstream here of Roy Schroten now. Capit going up the road. Siggy won't like that one bit. He goes to the outside of turn 1. Contact! That was Oliveira! Siggy saves it. Just about. So let us go back and have a look at that incident, though. Who was that? Oh, it was Oliveira. It was Oliveira. He hit the 2 of them. And the pass is off now as well. Yep, it was definitely Oliveira. And where has he gone down to now?
Oliveira
is down to 17th. So Oliveira there, he caused contact in race 2 at Austria, and he's caused contact in race 2 now at the Hungaroring. But there might be potentially, that is bigger effects though. Capit now in 5th, Siggy down to 6th.
Siggy down to 6th, you sure?
Oh, sorry, Sam down to 10th, sorry.
10th, I was going to say. So that will be questioned, and that will probably be penalised. Well, that will almost certainly be penalised. Because that is a massive effect on this race. Like a huge effect on the championship as well. There's now Capit's in 5th and Siggy's now down to 10th. So huge ramifications. And meanwhile, up front, the gap is only 6.7 seconds between Butler and Canapino.
6.7 seconds indeed. But it's lap 11 of 15. Canapino's running out of laps as Lopez holds on for P3 behind with Eric Strana. And now Risto Capit as well, catching on to the back of this as well. I think this has been... Capit's lacked a little bit of luck of recent times, but he's gained it once again as Siggy there making his way back through the field. He's now back up into P9. I think best damage limitation here surely for him is going to be P6. He's just got to hope that Strana and Lopez can hold on to P3 and P4 there.
Hey, dude, he's just got to keep going now. this is make or break. It's damage limitation for Siggy. He's already got 9th, so he's recovering. I mean, ultimately, it could have been a lot worse.
It could have been a lot worse.
Straight into that barrier and it would have been race over. So, fair play to him for keeping it out of there. Now he's just got to make some moves, and he will be very frustrated in that car. Like, seriously. Got to keep it cool.
Oh, La Passa going for a very eager move on Fournier there as well. We shall cut back to these guys when we see fit, but this battle for P3 is really heating up now, and Risto Capit, after seeing what happened behind him, he's got to think now that every single opportunity he gets, he should probably try and take, because these are big points he can gain now on the championship lead. In fact, if things remain as they are, Risto Capit will... Actually, no, he will... it was 5 points the gap going into this event. Currently, Siggy scoring 7, Capit scoring 11, so the gap would have come down by 1 point.
So
make of that what you will.
I'm sure Siggy would have preferred to be still up there. You know, ultimately 4 points with 4 races left to go wouldn't be the end of the world. He can still very much recover that. So, he's got to keep going now. He's got to keep it cool.
And look at Capit here, right on the back of Strana.
Oh, Junt's out with an engine failure. What's he done there?
Who?
Junt.
Oh, yeah. Let's just have a look.
That would suggest he's shifted down way too quickly. That's the only way you can kill these things.
He was with Olsen. And oh no! Contact with Riffle. Contact with Riffle in the midfield. And so Junt becomes our 4th retirement of the day. 5th retirement, sorry. 6th retirement even. They're mounting, aren't they? But Riffle, yeah, that was contact. I can't remember really what happened, but Riffle down to P17 then. And, oh dear. Not good signs. Not good signs at all. As up at the front, lap 13 to 15, the gap now 5.8 seconds. I think it's pretty clear what the Voss must do now. Just get to the end.
Yes, very much.
Just get to the end. As battle commences now for P7 and P8 here. La Passa, Fournier, and Siggy now in very close pursuit as well. Siggy, what would be going through his head here? He's got to keep calm, surely.
He has to. If you can't, ultimately.
Oh, sorry, and also, sorry, cap it up to 4th, mind you, sorry. Just notice that. Cap it up to 4th. He's gone ahead of Eric Strana, and he's looking at a podium here in race 2 as well.
What a drive that would have been. 19.
As Siggy is past Fournier, going back to this battle. Siggy up into 8th, Fournier on the inside of the chicane. No, he's going to dive it up the inside. That was to be expected. Contact on the exit as well. Surprisingly, though, that was actually not at all. Wow.
Where'd that come from?
Where did that come from, indeed? Fournier wasn't actually forced off the track. He remained on the curbs. So, rude from Fournier on entrance, rude from Kevin on exit. Warnings for both of them, I'm guessing, at the very most. There's Siggy back up to P8 there, but it's not good now, because Capit, with every position he gains from this point, that is more than 1 point. He's now on 13, Siggy on 8, so the championship lead would remain the same as Capit on the inside!
Capit on the inside, that's brave.
And I tell you what, if he takes 3rd here, Cappy, he will have actually extended his championship lead. And he's on the inside now. What about Strana as well? Still a factor. Lopez with better wing and with no weight as well. Going into turn 1, he covers off Capit. And here goes Strana into turn 1 as well. Oh my goodness me. Capit has got to be careful. Lopez on exit there, going ultra defensive. Once again, it's the penultimate lap. Canapino 5 seconds behind still. Lopez holding on for dear life. Capit unable to get through. Here comes Strana as well. Oh, a little bit of a tank slapper from Capit as well there. What to do? What to do?
He's got a difficult one here. If he wants to start, he cannot start doing fake moves, because if he starts doing that, he slows himself down, and then Strana ultimately probably will get past him. So he's got a difficult situation as Capit. He's got kind of the best. He's got the 2 ends of the stick. He kind of has to attack, but then he has to defend at the same time, which is quite difficult to do in this sort of heated situation, especially with what is on the line. Although you could say, do you try and maybe stay behind Lopez, try and hold up Strand, because there's the potential for Lopez to get some penalties. If he knows that,
yes, of course, yeah.
Is it worth it? So, ultimately, he might not know that anyway, so...
I don't know. What I do know, though, is that Bart DeVos is round the final corner to come the final lap, as Siggy and La Passa are going into combat there for P8 and P7. And La Passa, These are championship rivals, I should mention as well. Lapassa's still in this championship fight. He's not at the best of rounds. But DeVos onto the final lap. The gap with Canapino, 4.3. He's just got to make it to the end, DeVos. As Lopez up ahead, going very defensive already. But here comes Strana. Strana with a mighty exit out the final corner. And can the Swede help out Siggy here in the final moments? Round the outside of turn 1, Strana will attempt to go. He is ahead, just about sliding from Capit. And Strana stays behind. But this is a little bit more complicated for Risto now. That the Swede is looking for that P4 himself.
This is tight as it gets, but they're just magnetized to each other. It's insane. Strand looking like he could... I don't know, where could he make a move now? It's ultimately, I think it's coming into turn 12, isn't it? Best opportunity.
Pretty much. He looks a little bit wary though now, doesn't he? Oh, up the inside. What about Strana? Where would he look? Surely turn 12, I'm guessing?
I'd say the same, yeah.
If anywhere.
If anywhere, it's the best opportunity now.
Extraordinary battles to play out their part in this race. We shall keep an eye on the leaders, but for now we will look at P3 Lopez trying to hold on for dear life. Mind you, this would be an excellent result for Vodbull Racing, given that there is one Walk racing car out of this race, and the only one who is still in it is behind both Walks at this point. Just looking at the front, will Capit have a look on the outside of turn 12 here? Will he dive to the inside? No, he's going to hold station.
Station 12, isn't it?
Yep, I think it's going to be a late dive, if anything. But coming around the final corner now. What a race for Bart de Vos. He wins race 2 at the Hungaroring. For why the F1? Canapino second. Lopez holding on for dear life. Does he maintain third? Yes, he does. 2-3 for Vodbull. Capit re-establishes the championship lead in P4. Eric Strana P5. Lapassa home in P6. Kevin Siggy home P7. I'll have to go back and check there because I see Hoekstra down the order. Schroten P8. Olsen P9. Fournier P10. Pushka P11. Hoekstra P12. Hins P13. Cabrera P14. And Marcus Ripple P15. Oliveira, who will have some explaining to do for sure. P16 might be looking at a grid penalty next time out. Unfortunately, your retirements from this race. David Junt, Ruud Hieseby, Sven de Vries, 3 of the championship protagonists from last year, amazingly. David Francic, Menno Klont, and Quinton Plain. I'm just going to have a little look back and see what happened and why Hoekstra is so far down the order.
That was
oh, let's have a look there. It looks like Hoekstra lost it all on his own, actually, final corner. Yep, it was all on his own accord, unfortunately.
That's and then race, isn't it?
And then Siggy got past Schroten because Schroten was held up by Lapassa. So actually, it was very lucky for Siggy. He gained 2 positions there on the final lap. 9 points for Siggy, 13 for Capit. That means that the championship lead has come down overall, but only by 1 point.
By 1 point. So it's open, isn't it? That was a race of 2 halves, really. There was some good racing going on, and then some questionable driving as well. Ultimately, that's not for us to decide what happens. But no, congratulations to Bart de Vos, who controlled that race from start to finish, really. I mean, maybe you'd say another 5 more laps. Potentially, Canapino could have caught up, but you still had to have got past her. Yeah. Good race from... I'd have to say, though, Canapino was probably the driver of the race. That was a brilliant drive.
That was a great drive, yeah.
To get a podium was wonderful. So, and he gained 6 seconds in about 6 laps.
He did. Yeah, that's a good call.
It was brilliant drive from both DeVos and Canapino.
The thing which made it for DeVos though was that start.
Oh,
getting past Morris and Schroten was crucial. Absolutely crucial.
It was a stunning start. He got past 2 drivers before the first corner.
Absolutely, but who says the Hungaroring is boring? I don't.
Yeah, I know. This was WSS kind of brought its usual excitement along with it, really. But yeah, it was good to watch him.
Right then, so let's drag in a couple of drivers who had a wonderful race in race 1 and very differing races in race 2. Perhaps we should start off then with Kevin Siggy, who took pole position, the race 1 win, and then had an interesting race 2, to say the least. let's focus on the positives first of all. What battle you had with Risto in race 1? That's got to be one of the highlights of the year at GPVWC overall, surely.
Yeah, I was very happy with the battle. I mean, it was very intense, and I had so much pressure into me. Like, Risto, you're insane. With 45 kilos of weight, being heavier and being a little bit faster in some corners, you're insane. The battle was very good. I mean, I loved it every single bit. And that incident, I don't know about it, but fair enough. Respect has been given. And yeah, second race wasn't so good because I got punted in turn 1, but still I managed to get P7 in the end, except for P9, because I got lucky in the final corner to overtake one. But yeah, in the end it was a positive weekend.
Yeah, I think that is the crucial thing. The championship lead between yourself and Risto coming down to 4 points. It's only a point difference now, or only a point difference from this evening, but it's still very, very close. What are you going to do over these 6 weeks to try and prepare your mind for the final 2 rounds? Because it's very much crunch time, isn't it?
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, I just need a good strategy. I just have to finish in front of Risto as much as possible to get those crucial points and to get the least amount of incidents that I want, and basically that's 0. So yeah, it's a strategy. I don't know how it will end up.
We'll see how it ends up. Congratulations on your pole and your race win, Kev, and then on to Risto Capit then. Equally a wonderful battle from you. A little bit of contact into the first turn as you tried to overtake Kevin, but to no avail. However, race 2 went a lot better for you, especially with the 36 kilograms of weight bar, so I think you'd be pretty chuffed with the P4. Earth to Risto? But it seems that we've lost.
Yeah,
oh,
I'm here.
There we go.
Sorry,
right.
I had mapping a button. Yeah, the first race, well, overall, you could see that Kevin could see that, and me, that the championship is really getting close. So it seems we both upped our game, and it was really good. Like, we both had the top weight, and we were still up in front. And yeah, the race was really, really good. I mean, I know Kevin pretty well and how he drives, and he made some mistakes, but so did I, and our pace was really good. So it was a great race. Yeah, I dived on him in the first corner. It was not a bad move, but we touched a bit, so I was not too sure. I let him by, and that was my only chance. But position 2 is pretty good in race 1.
And of course, you still remain championship leader. That's the main thing. You've got 45 kilograms now, and going into Spa-Francorchamps. Now, that weight is painful at times, but around the largest circuit on the calendar, what are your hopes for Spa? Do you think a win is possible? Do you think a podium is even possible?
Yeah, it all depends on these crazy race 2s. I mean, this race 2 here was really crazy as well. The car was all bent and it was crazy racing, but it went well. Well, in bigger tracks where you can overtake, I hope for the same as I have done in some races this season, that I get around P6 with the weight, because actually the weight is really, really big. Even in this track, it was half a second. But then in race 2, I really need to start winning. Well, I just need to beat the people around me. The season is indeed very close, and with all this weight and the reverse creeds, there is no other way. It will be close anyway. So, especially if it ends in Monza, it will maybe even be a lottery. But yeah, as Kevin said, you just need to not make any mistakes, and that's pretty much it. But it was great fun racing.
It was wonderful racing, and the best of luck to you to enjoy your summer breaks, because they are well deserved. So, that is it from the Hungaroring, and that's it for WSS for 6 weeks. We return on August the 4th, I believe it is. I should just go and double check that now. No, it's the 5th of August. Sorry, I apologise. And it's one of my personal favourite tracks, Circuit Spa-Francorchamps. Wonderful track, Stefan. Plenty of overtaking opportunities, plenty of straights, and usually plenty of action as well.
Yeah, Spa's just one of those classics, and hopefully WSS can deliver like it's usually done, and let's hope to see a great battle between these 2 drivers we have with us right now. I very much look forward to it.
Now, there is still some racing to be done before GPVWC goes on holiday to wherever it's going in 2 weeks' time. Join us tomorrow around the same time, where I'm having my 3rd consecutive broadcast in a row. I'm not sure how my voice is going to hold up, but it's World GT. Usually great fun, and we're heading to the Circuit Algarve with the GT Field. Should be some very good action there, hopefully. And then join us next week for the final bit of racing before July and indeed August, where we have the Open Series and Formula Challenge on the Tuesday, Super Cup on the Wednesday, and the Hungarian Grand Prix on the Thursday. It should be fascinating to watch, and we hope you will enjoy it as much as we do. I'd just like to take these final few moments to thank my cameraman once again for this evening, Mike Phillis. We should hopefully have some interesting, lovely new graphics back after the holiday for you to be Googling your eyes at. A big thank you to my co-commentator once again, Stephen McCready. I've been James Kirk, and from all of us here, it is a very warm goodbye.